Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to everyone that are willing to attend the Majlis Amanat Naib Chancellor 2019. Okay, so today we are honored to be here because we have two special guests, panelists from University Malaysia Pahang's Manufacturing and Mechanicals faculty, which is Mr. Tuan Muhammad and also Mrs. Zubaidah. So today we are going to discuss a very interesting topic, which is ethical engineers in 21st century. Does it matter anymore? So this topic is very relatable to every student in university. So let's start, shall we? So we start with Mr. Tuan Muhammad. What is your opinion about this?
Thank you to Mr. Moderator. Firstly, I just want to say that this topic very interesting for me, since I'm an engineering student. Ethical issue have been taught to people, especially for person who come from industrial and technological background. Actually, in engineering, we have a lot of discipline and rules to be obeyed. We cannot simply that whatever we want to, despite of what other people think. Ethics, moral engineering, society is a priority and cannot be relinquished. In my opinion, supposedly ethical engineering in 21st century is a must. It doesn't matter to our society for a professional worker like engineer to have a good ethics.
I agree with your opinion, Mr. Tuan Muhammad. These are very important aspect to be implemented in our as an engineer. Okay. So we proceed to Ms. Zubaidah. So what are your thoughts about this topic?
Okay. What a wonderful day today, isn't it, Mr. Moderator? Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity to give a talk today. Ethical issues are very popular among our society today. Some of engineers do have ethics and some of them doesn't have ethics anymore. Yes, they are intelligent, but they created something that works and should not be invented at all. As example, Sweden, as a step to replace the identity card as they implanted chips in humans. So, although is very technological developed, but this might be harmful for the people to use. They develop this kind of technology without seeing the future consequence. The chips might have blow out in our body. So who knows? So kids, you better be an ethical engineer.
Wow, that stuff really happened, huh? Wow. So I don't know why, but it's really concerning me lah. And okay, I've heard about the 2015 head transplant experiment, surgery on human. So Mr. Tuan Muhammad, have you ever heard about it?
Yes, I have heard about it. And Chandra neurosurgeon Dr. Sergio Canavero wanted to do head implantation surgery on a volunteer in 2015. The surgery has been decided to occur in 2017. But apparently the volunteer pulled out of the project. He is afraid of the consequence that could be happen.
I would never ever volunteer to do a surgery like that. But Miss Zubaidah, will you volunteer for this such thing?
Oh, I don't think I will never risk myself for an experiment like this. Even they offer me $1 million, I will never do it. In my opinion, head transplant is a mad word. Actually, head transplant started to be experimented in early 1600s. But
understood. Like for me, engineers who collaborate with this project is like a little bit unethical, since they agree to risk their life just to prove whether their products and technology will contribute a lot in this surgery.
Yeah, actually, Chicago Biotechnological Company partnered with Dr. Sergio in developing the project. They also invented a virtual reality technology just to train the doctor to perform the surgery virtually. Although the doctor thinks that he will have successful surgery, actually, it is not the same as performing in the real person. Anything could be happen during the surgery.
But I think if they do not perform the experimental surgery, I don't think that we will ever know the success rate of this surgery, right? Like, I think it is possible to perform head transplant surgery. Okay, it's just that they need to successfully perform it on animals first. Like, so what can we relate from this case with our 21st century ethical engineers issue among our fresh graduate students?
For me, even if we wanted to develop something, it is a bit unethical for us to playing gods. Although we wanted to develop technology for something experimental like this, there are still limits to us. Modernization and development might be an important aspect for engineers who wanted to develop machine or technologies. But still you cannot cross the border. You guys must have the guidelines. You need to know what the difference between ethical and unethical. Sacrificing life just to popularize your brand and name in industry is unethical.
I totally agree. There are boundaries to be considered of. We cannot simply trying to overpower God's power. Although we think that we are capable in creating something great, engineers are also humans. No matter how smart we are, we must remember that we also have something that we do not know. And then if engineers create too much machine replacing human labor, how do we expect our fresh graduates to have income?
Very true, very true. So, people who are graduating soon, please remember that there is always boundaries that cannot cross. Firstly, we cannot simply create something that overpower God's power. Then we cannot overcreate some machine just to replace human labors and save costs. This will make the fresh graduates to be jobless and homeless. And next, the most important thing is we need to differentiate between the ethical and unethical behavior as an engineer. So, I think that concludes our forum today. So, thank you to Mr. Tuan Muhammad and Ms. Zubaidah for very important information, and thanks for sharing. Hope to see you guys soon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace out.